if you want to eat a burger and if you want to go to a restaurant, like it's kind of like a cheat meal if you're into that, or if you're into the gym or whatever, if you want to have a burger, at least have the best burger you're gonna have, right? As far as quality, taste, everything, just go to Bamburger. My name is Jeronimo Guerrero. For those who don't know Spanish, it's Jeronimo Guerrero. I'm 24 years old. I'm from the Woodlands, Texas. And I'm going to be talking about my new business venture, which is a smash burger restaurant. It's called Bamburger. So at first, when we started the project, my friend from way back in school, he wanted always to open a restaurant, and it always wanted to be a burger restaurant. And at the time, I'm still doing real estate, but at the time I was doing real estate and I was managing properties in the Houston area, in the Woodlands and stuff. So I came across a property that had some tenants that weren't paying rent. It was already built out for a restaurant. And so the landlord was putting a lot of pressure on me to, get the space out, lease it to somebody else, get the current tenants out because they weren't meeting their contract. So I kind of started talking to my buddy. I was like, what can we do here? I have a space, it's equipped, we have everything ready. We can make your idea here and kind of go forward with it. So that's kind of how it got started. He was doing his own thing. He worked in restaurants for about 10 years. I worked in real estate for about 8 now, since I was 18 years old. So actually, since I was 16 years old, I started working with my father. My father's a real estate developer. So I've been in the business for a little bit. I mean, not as long as a lot of people, but so yeah, that's how our venture got started. And now I'm a restaurant owner. A lot of people, they love burgers, but they don't really know what they're eating. And I feel like our generation now is starting to care more about what they put in their mouth. They don't like to eat too much fast food and stuff, and they start going into the ingredients and what they're actually feeding themselves. So what we wanted to do is make a burger that has the best quality for an affordable price as well, because people don't want to spend $30-$40 going out to eat every single time, where you can spend $10 but also get a quality meal. So our idea was, how can we spend less money in our business rather than mark up the prices and try and sell more or have more revenue? Let's just shoot for having the same amount of revenue everybody does, and then see where we can save some money, right? So that's where we started doing some automation on our business. We have some computers to make your order. That way you don't need a cashier. We limit our menu so we don't need that many people in the kitchen. We limit our menu, so we just have a very simple process to do for every single person that we have. We don't have that much staff. We operate with 2 to 3 people. So that really cuts our costs down, and we can offer a very good quality product to the customers. JP, my partner, and myself, of course, he's 25, I'm 24. We're kind of just making some money. So first we faced the issues. We're like, okay, we're gonna spend this much building it out, right? And then it never turns out to be that much. So by the end, we're like, okay, we need more money. So we had to grind it out, work elsewhere, get more money. So that was one of the challenges we faced. But also, when you've never opened a restaurant, it's really hard. There's a lot of processes that go into it as far as like permitting goes. The health department, the fire marshals, all that stuff is very difficult to do if you're not aware of what you're getting yourself into. So for us, that was a big challenge that whenever we got through with it, we were very happy. Yeah, I made the sauce. That's my contribution. That's the only contribution as far as the menu goes. That's what I did. I always tell this story because I think, because the only thing that I, brought in as far as recipes, JP is the guy for the recipes, but I made the sauce. And I was like, this is the sauce we have to use. And then so some people came in, they're like, hey, what is this sauce? Like, this is the best thing about the restaurant. And I kind of looked at JP. I was like, I told you, you know? So, yeah. The loyalty comes from good service. You know, you have to treat people nice, and then you have to also assume responsibility when you like take a long time to give them their order, maybe give them something in return for that. And also, you know, always have a quality product, because if we don't have any seed oils. We do everything. Our fries are in beef tallow. So the beef tallow really gives a much richer flavor to the fries. So people really like that. So that some people just come back for the fries, which is awesome. But also the burger. We have Angus beef. So instead of saving some money and giving out worse or quality, we just go for the higher quality and try to spend less money. So I think that goes right along with having loyalty from the customers, because they like a quality product and they like to be, you know, treated fairly when they go to a restaurant. The way I've managed, you know, I'm still young. I still have a lot to learn and a lot of fights to have with a lot of people, right? But what I've realized in my short 8 years of working with my father and with friends and stuff is that you always have to sit down maybe for 8-10 hours till midnight, whatever, until you figure out every single last detail, right? Like who is doing what, who's putting in what, whether it's money, whether it's time, whether it's any type of resource. It has to be really clear from the beginning. And you also have to have an agreement that spells out every single detail, the most that you can, of course. You can never get to everything, but today we have the tools necessary, like artificial intelligence, to help you out, kind of build out an agreement or an operating agreement, whatever you want to call it, in order to arise from the situation. You know, so we really try to prevent those instead of, you know, run into the problems. Our processes are mostly automated. We tried to make everything replicable, so we can kind of, you know, this is the way this is done. If the burger has to be turned this way, and then here's where you put the sauce, everything is the same. Everything is like kind of like a machine. Why do we do this? We do this because we want to evolve into the future, to just copy and paste this same concept into different locations and hopefully expand. The next chapter is if we continue to perform like we have in recent months, we will be looking to open a second location, hopefully by the end of this year or early next year, and then from there see where it takes us. The idea is to have multiple locations in Texas in the next coming years. Sure, I could use some advice too, but to be honest, it's just show up, right? Like I have another friend of mine, we're doing another venture. Actually, it's here. We're trying to open a coffee shop, right? And what I told them since the beginning, you know, you just gotta be here, because if you're here every day, then you're gonna advance at least a little bit, right? So if you're not here, then nothing happens, right? So, but if you're here every day, and then, you know, at least we get something done, we talk about something, there's things that get going, and then the more often that you're there every single day, it's like a snowball. It starts creating the whole thing, and then before you know it, you have a whole business. My name is Jeronimo Guerrero, and I look forward to you guys coming out to Bamburger.